Hello, my name is Mary Wimsett, and today I'm going to do a business proposal on Kentucky's welfare system, and it's titled Enough is Enough. First of all, I'm going to start off by giving just personal examples of things that I've experienced. One day I was at Kroger's grocery store, and I was in the express lane, and there was a lady in front of me who had like 10 to 15 cans of Enfamil baby formula. And the clerk scanned all of her items, and she handed him some manufacturer's coupons and then used her EBT card to pay for the baby formula. And she said, "You're supposed to give me cash back for those coupons." And I thought, yeah, right. And the clerk was like, "No, those coupons stay in here." And she said, "No, you give me cash back for those. I get cash back for those coupons." She kept insisting that she got the cash back for her coupons. So finally, he just gave up. He said, "I'll just go get my manager and I'll ask him what I'm supposed to do." So sure enough, manager comes over and he looks at the situation and he agrees. He said, "No, she does get the money back for those coupons." So he got in the register and gave her about $20 back on these coupons that she used to pay for baby formula with EBT cards, which I thought was insane. I mean, how is that okay to use coupons, but you give her the cash back? It just didn't make any sense to me. That's one example. Another example is I work at a pharmacy that has a grocery store inside of it. And almost every day that I work, I see the same man in there buying lottery tickets. And he's on welfare. And I'm like, if you're on welfare, how do you have cash money to buy lottery tickets? That just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. Anyways, one day last week, he walked by our window where we were working, and he said, "Golly, why don't y'all smile or something?" And that really got under my skin because I thought to myself, we're at work. Why don't you go get a job and see how often you smile at work? It just really bothered me that he made that comment. Another example is, a place I used to work at. A girl that I worked with was on the phone with one of the customers, and she had to put this customer on hold to go answer or look up her question. And she said, "Hold on, ma'am, I'll be right back." Well, Crystal never put her on hold, and she could hear the lady's conversation. And this lady was on welfare, and she was talking about how much weed she was going to buy later on that afternoon. And I thought, how the heck do you have enough money to go buy weed, but you're on welfare? That doesn't make sense to me. Like, when I'm like sick, I can't even afford to go to the doctor, so I don't go. But these people can go to the doctor whenever they want for free, and then use their extra money to go buy weed. It just really upsets me. And this last one, I don't want to offend anybody. I mean, I know people have weight issues for medical reasons and stuff like that, but it just bothers me to see obese mothers, fathers, and children that are on welfare. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you're poor, in my mind, it makes me think you don't have enough money for food. Now, if you're on welfare, how do you have enough money to overfeed yourself every day? I don't get that. So anyways, after I gave you these examples, I want to know, does any of these situations upset you? And if you say yes, I have put together a proposal to reform Kentucky's welfare program. Number one, if you do not have any dependents or children and you're filing for Medicaid, your Medicaid will be temporary. And I give you 30-day window to find a job. If no job is found within those 30 days, the aid is cut off and suspended for 6 months. Just recently, I was put back into, I was searching for a job, and all I have is a high school diploma. I don't have a college degree. I'm in the same boat as a lot of people that are on welfare. I found 3 jobs within 30 days that I could have picked or choose from to work at, and they were all $10 or more on the hour. So don't tell me there's not jobs out there to be found, because there are. That is not an excuse. These people are making excuses, and it's made too easy for them to not work and to use our hard-earned tax dollars for them to live off of. It just really upsets me. Another one is, of course, you've heard other states have already passed the law that they are requiring drug testing for any applicants for Medicare or Medicaid. Not Medicare, probably, just Medicaid. I think that should be mandatory as well. I know in Florida they have implemented where the applicant has to pay up front for their drug screen, and if the drug screen comes back clear or negative, then they are reimbursed the money. Now, the results from this have come back saying that 98% of these applicants are passing their drug screens. So it's ended up costing the state of Florida like hundreds of thousands of dollars to reimburse these people back for their drug screens. Now, I think they should just have to pay for the drug screen themselves. They're given free medical care, free food, all this other stuff. They can afford $30 for a drug screen. And if they're going to be on the Medicaid or whatever government assistance for a long period of time, I think they should be subjected to a random drug screen once a year. Now, by random, I mean they have to take it within 24 hours of being notified. No ifs, ands, or buts. If they miss it, or if they miss that appointment, the public aid is stopped, cut off, whatever. And because I know that there's stuff out there that people can buy, like TVs or whatever, where they can cleanse their system and pass a drug screen, within like a couple of days, or probably even a day of drinking whatever they're drinking to clear their system of weed or whatever kind of drug they're on. So random drug screens, I think, are a must. A third thing I think is, you've heard of people selling their EBT cards for cash or drugs or whatever, trading it off for something else. I think that fingerprinting should be required at grocery stores. I used to go to a tanning bed where I had to use my fingerprint to authenticate who I was. Now, if that's possible at a tanning bed place, then why can't we implement the same, system for Medicaid, where we're using, Americans' tax dollars to pay for somebody's assistance? I think it'll help cut down on the fraud on the EBT cards. And another thing I want to point out is only allow generics to be bought at the grocery store. I can't tell you how many times I've seen these people with carts packed to the top full of brand name stuff that I would love to have. I would love to have to eat. I can't afford to eat that stuff. I buy generic stuff. Why are they able to buy, Apple Jacks and Ding Dongs when I can't afford to buy that stuff? It's crazy to me to see these obese women and men and children who are poverty stricken. I grew up really poor, and we were skinny for a reason. I was like stick skinny, and all my sisters were too. And it was because we didn't have extra food. My mom didn't buy extra stuff. We had, if we were hungry, we got peanut butter and crackers, or, my mom bought generic cereal. I mean, we got the cereal that came in a big plastic bag, and we only had so much milk. I just don't think that it's necessary for these people to be able to buy all this junk food if they're on welfare. It's like, to me, it's like, I don't know, like a treasure to be able to buy that stuff. I don't know why they're given that right when, people, hard-earned, working citizens aren't given the same, choices. And this is going to sound crazy too, but I believe they should be use a BMI scale to cut off some of these people. If your body mass index is too high, I think your age should be cut off. And you think this is harsh, but where I work, I witnessed this. A lady I worked with was denied health care through Anthem because her BMI was too high for her weight. She had to lose 30 pounds to get Anthem insurance coverage. And she did. She lost the 30 pounds and got the coverage. I think Medicaid recipients should be held to the same standards that we're held to. Why not? If it's okay for us to have to be put through those standards, why can't we put Medicaid recipients to the same standards? And the only thing it's going to do is help them get more healthy anyways. It's not asking a lot for somebody. I don't know. Anyways, another thing is increasing penalties for people who are charged guilty for abusing the Medicaid system. Right now in Kentucky, welfare fraud is punishable as a felony, and it's 1 to 5 years in prison. Now, tagged along with this, I think that a guilty charge should prohibit Medicaid and Medicare assistance for life. Now that means, yes, if you're charged at the age of 30 for fraud in the Medicaid system, when you get to 65 and you're ready to file Medicare, I think those rights should be denied. You've ruined it. You have 33 whatever years to prepare yourself for what you did when you were, when you're going to be 65. I know that sounds harsh, but hey, times are tough, and we're starting to pay for everything that has been done in the past from past future lawmakers. We have to do something now. And the impact that this has on the community is that these new changes will help lower the unemployment rate because more people are going to be forced to work and no longer be fully dependent on state and government aid. It's going to save Americans hard-earned tax dollars. It's going to set an example to the children we have now and who will be our future when they are adults, and we're going to rely on them when we are senior citizens. I hope you have found this presentation to be informational and interesting, and thank you for your time.